most of us start a journey into spirituality. We often feel that there is something missing within us, something wrong, and therefore we start this quest of finding out the answer for this restlessness within us, for this sense of loneliness, for this desperation within, for this fear, this sense of lack. So all of these very intense emotions are within us, and we struggle with them. And we start this journey into spirituality to find an answer, to find how can I be free from those emotions. And that's where it gets paradoxical, because the journey into spirituality have different steps. The first one is when you start this journey, right? You start to read books, you discover a new system of beliefs, new way of perceiving the world and the universe, even yourself, new way of existing, so it's like a new adventure with an infinite possibility arising within us. It's beautiful. And in this step, that's where we are a lot in the discovery process of getting knowledge, getting information. And we read a lot of books and we dive into it and we try techniques. And maybe we become monk or we become whatever tradition we are into, and we want to change our identity into some kind of spiritual identity. And when this phase of fireworks start to end, it's when we realize that nothing really has changed. Maybe our way of life or the way we live has changed. Maybe the place on earth where we live has changed. Maybe our relationship has changed with our family, with our friends, or we have made new friends. Maybe our diet has changed, the way we do sports, our activities. So many things can change on the outside of our life. But this step of exploring spirituality and be excited about spirituality and discovering new techniques, new understanding about how the world works, and when we deeply realize it's a deep and profound realization that it's not working. No matter what I do, no matter what technique I'm imposing on my body and on my mind, I still feel that there is something missing. There is still this restlessness, this agitation deep within. I can still feel it no matter what I do. And that's a beautiful realization, because this realization opens the door to non-duality. Non-duality is the understanding that reality is a whole, complete, indivisible field of consciousness. So whatever happens within this field does not affect the field itself. So when you realize that no matter what activities or techniques or behavior seem to happen in your life, does not affect the awareness that you are, doesn't change the consciousness that you are. You are the same being before you started this journey into spirituality than where you were having some kind of, what we can say, a profound life. What you are is inchangeable. So you can change the behavior, maybe. You can maybe change the way you live. You can maybe change the way you talk. You can change the way you dress. You can change many things. But at some point, I hope that you will, or that you are, realizing that my being do not change. My being is always the same. And this is a new step into this journey of spirituality, because now when you start to have this intuition, it can come straight and completely at once, so it can come gradually. But when we start to have this intuition that wait, I'm fooling myself with all those books, with those rituals, with with all of these practices that I'm doing. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're not really changing me. And that's really a huge understanding, a huge realization. They are not changing me. I am always the same. I'm always here. I'm always present. And this change in this spiritual journey is when we stop being distracted by the content of our experience and we start to look at our experience directly. If I never change, what is always seemingly changing? Experience. So what is experience? Instead of assuming what is experience and what I am, I will start to look what is experiencing, what is this actuality that is here. And that's the shift from the fireworks, the book, the conversation, the argument about which is the best techniques, what work, who is right, who is wrong, to what is here. What is a sensation? How does a sensation appear? What is a perception? What is sound? How can sound be? What is a thought? And you start to engage to your experience directly. This is a huge step. The exploring your experience directly without using concept or stories. It's a beautiful realization. I hope that it's clear, and I hope that it makes sense what I'm sharing. And when you start to explore your what is here, this actuality, this amazing actuality that is here, there is maybe a new step that can appear. It's this profound question: who am I? Right? Because when you explore your experience, you will find many, many interesting facts, many interesting curiosities there. But you will never find yourself. So this question is not a question that you answer, who am I? You don't answer the question, who am I, through the thought. You answer by this direct inquiry of your experience, of what is here and what is now. And you can say the last one, even if I use steps, but it's not very accurate, but just it's a way of speaking. The last one would be when you understand that there is no distinction between what I am and what experience is. Reality is a whole. Everything appears at once, and all phenomena that is a subject and the object arise together. This full experiencing the complete field of your experience, all of it, all sensation, all perception, all thoughts, all the intuition and the unnameable things that appear that you cannot really name, but they are present, but you don't really, but it's there. All of it arise here and now within you. They are you, at the same time there is no you. And that's the beauty of this realization of non-duality. It's like nothing, you lose nothing and you gain everything. There is nothing to lose because I'm complete. And because I'm complete, there is nothing that I have to avoid. So all of your experience, all of your seemingly personal life can still unfold in the way that it has to, or that you want to. But you will lose this sense of importance of it. You will still have the beauty. You will still have the love, the tenderness, this taste of wonder, but you will lose the fear more and more. You will lose the anxiety. You will lose all of those seeming consequences that this individual experience seem to bring on, right? I'm going to die. I have to succeed. What I'm doing wrong. What if I lose this relationship? What if I lose my job, my place in society? All of this, you lose all of this anxiety, and life starts to have a complete different taste. And this is the wholeness of your being, to find that your being is complete and whole no matter what, frees you completely from individual experience and this individual fear and anxiety. So the freedom of being is not, it includes everything. The whole personality that you're experiencing, the body with his pain and pleasure that you're experiencing, is all included. The fact of your perfection is not always clearly expressed in our personalities and in our bodies. And we have to be clear that if I focus on changing my mind, if I focus on changing my body, I will start to be distracted from my true nature. And that's where I get confused again and doubt arises. The more I can feel, taste, enjoy, and appreciate the fact of my own presence, the more this joy, peace, and all of the qualities that are inherent in my being will start to permeate experience at the best, with the best possibilities that the human body and environment can offer, right? But it's not that important into how it expresses. It's more important you will see that to feel it and to appreciate it. The appreciation of what you are is the gift, and the consequences are secondary, and they are not really important. I hope it makes sense. Sometimes I'm talking about those things, and as I'm talking, I feel this depth falling back. I'm kind of falling within, and the words and everything start to become more and more blurry. And for me, it's interesting to find a way to put names and to have fun with words about this topic. But I hope it makes sense. I hope it is useful above all. And if this is something that resonates within you, please share. You can comment on this video. You can send me an email. I'm doing everything I can to be available to you. So I'm very curious about what is your vision on this, what is your own experience. And often, I see the conflict is not so much on how we experience, but how we talk about it. So if for you have a different way of expressing it, a different way of living it, let's say, I'm very curious about how would you express it? How would you talk about this unspeakable reality? How would you describe yourself that you never find? Isn't that interesting? I am very interested in this topic. And I'm very interested in your vision and your experience. So please, if you want to, you can share. Bye.